Hello, this is Dan's show on the tube. I'm Dan, and we're going to do the watch-along of the 1992 Royal Rumble. Like, share, and subscribe to the video, and let me know what other watch-alongs you'd be interested in. Let's get to it. Match starts off with Howard Finkel, rest in peace, doing the introductions and the explanations of the rules. Howard Finkel, if you didn't know, was the first person ever employed by Vince McMahon when he bought Titan Sports from his father. I think he's still the absolute GOAT of announcers. I don't think there's ever been a better announcer than the Fink. We're waiting to see who's going to be number one. He's still explaining the rules of the match. Jack Tunney come in to show the title and to welcome people to the show. Jack Tunney was the on-screen president of the World Wrestling Federation at the time, but he was also the head of WWF in Canada. He was a major force in any Canadian matches, shows in Ontario and Toronto, Ottawa as well. He's showing the Winged Eagle title, which is going to be presented to the winner. The Winged Eagle design is my all-time favorite design of a WWF title. Bobby Heenan once called Jack Tunney the best president since Manuel Noriega. Absolutely loved him. Number one's coming out. It's the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. He's a Hall of Famer. In '95 in the Rumble, he went wire to wire and finished second. Him and Shawn drew 1 and 2, and Bulldog lasted to the end and actually thought he had won it. He clotheslined Shawn over the top rope, and Shawn hung on. He didn't realize it and was celebrating, and that's actually how he lost the match. He also won a big battle royal in England. It can be seen in the Battle Royal, Royal Albert Hall on WWE Network. Number 2 is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He come out with Sensational Sherry. Sherry only worked with top talent, so she was a great manager. They only paired her with top people or people that they thought were going to be top people. She was a big part of Shawn Michaels' singles start when he broke off from the Rockers. Okay, Bulldog and DiBiase are now fighting. Irish whip into the ropes. DiBiase blocks it with an elbow. Throws Davey Boy into the corner. Big chops. Both of these guys Hall of Famers. Ted DiBiase even once bought the World Wrestling Federation Championship title. I met him at a Comic-Con in Pittsburgh one year. He's an amazing man. Gut wrench suplex on Davey Boy. Perfect. DiBiase is technically sound. One of the most technically sound wrestlers I've seen. Fist drop. Going to go for a suplex, and he hit it. DiBiase in total control at this point. Sorry that my head's moving a little bit. I'm watching on an 83-inch screen. DiBiase throws Davey Boy over the rope, but he landed on the apron. Big clothesline. DiBiase's out. No chance for him to be the champion. Davey Boy celebrating, waiting on number 3. The referee's chasing DiBiase back. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Number 3 is Ric Flair. He's seconded by Mr. Perfect. Ric Flair wearing the black butterfly robe. That robe he had stolen out of a hotel room and lost it. It's actually, of all the Ric Flair robe designs, it's my absolute favorite. I have a Funko Pop of him in that robe. Flair working his way into the ring. He's jaw-jacking with Davey Boy. Gives a high five to Mr. Perfect, who has to leave the ringside area. Flair strutting around here, does a lockup. Bulldog, showing his superior power, pushes Flair off pretty easily. Oh, he thumbed him in the eye. Irish whip, Davey B reverses. Big gorilla press. Presses Flair 4 to 5 times and hits a body slam. Ric Flair was injured in a plane crash, and he doesn't like to take straight back bumps very much. Big clothesline by Davey Boy. The plane crash I was talking about with Ric Flair, it broke his back, and he was back inside of a year, but had changed his entire physique and character, brought in the Nature Boy character. Davey Boy since this match. His family, including a descendant of Matilda, inducted him in the Hall of Fame. Number 4 is going to come out. That's Nasty Boy Jerry Sags with Jimmy Hart. Him taunting the fans and jaw-jacking the whole way to the ring. Davey Boy's got Flair up in the corner for 10 punches. And Sags comes in and attacks Davey Boy immediately. The Nasty Boys were WCW and WWF Tag Team Champions. They had really good runs in both companies. I like the Nasty Boys as a tag team. I believe I even downloaded CAWs of them in WWE 2K25. Which, by the way, is a really great game. If you haven't played it, you need to. This year they added a lot of modes to it that make it really great. Flair and Sags are double teaming Davey Boy right now. Double Irish whip. Davey Boy counters with a double clothesline. Sags goes over the top. Not to the floor yet. He saves himself. Davey Boy with a drop kick knocks Sags to the floor. Sags is eliminated. Back to Ric Flair and Davey Boy. Flair begging off. Davey Boy coming closer. Tries to pick up Flair for an elimination. Flair blocks it. Flair begins chopping Davey Boy. 10 seconds to number 5. 1. It's Haku. Haku, one of the toughest men in professional wrestling history, was in a bar one time and was told that a patron didn't believe that wrestling was real and that the guys were that tough. Haku bit the man's nose off and spit it in his face. Haku, also the father of Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, current WWE superstars and former tag team champions. Haku's attacking Flair now. Flair switched and hitting punches on Haku. Haku just no-sold it completely and come out of the corner. Stops to stomp Davey Boy and chases Flair. Flair runs under the bottom rope, so Flair is not eliminated. Haku starts attacking Davey Boy, who's still on the mat. Haku hits a pile driver on Davey Boy, and Flair sneaks behind and rakes his eyes. He's got his fingers firmly in Haku's eyes. Now going to hit a Flair knee drop. Very nice. One of Flair's signature moves. I really like it. He's going to go back to Davey Boy. Davey Boy blocks a whip into the corner and hits Flair's head in the corner. Now Haku with a big thrust kick on Davey Boy. Starts chopping Flair. Big headbutt. Lands some kicks in the corner on Flair, some elbows. Goes back to Davey Boy. Davey Boy's hitting with forearms. We got 8 seconds till number 6 comes out. Haku's eliminated by Davey Boy with a body slam. Shawn Michaels comes out. I don't know what can't be said about Shawn. Shawn is one of the best in-ring performers of all time. This is slightly after he threw Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window to become a heel and separate the Rockers tag team. He immediately goes after Flair. Lots of punches. Shawn actually had Ric Flair's last WWE match at WrestleMania. He ended Flair's career when Flair was in if he lost, he had to retire match. Davey Boy hit a big slam on Shawn and a clothesline. Davey Boy counters with a clothesline. And another sending Shawn over the top ropes, but not out of the ring. Shawn's back in, hits a super kick on Davey Boy. Now Flair's attacking Shawn. Flair trying to send Shawn over the ropes. Shawn's tying himself up in the ropes. He fingers Flair in the eyes to get saved. Attacks Flair in the corner. Davey Boy Irish whip. Davey Boy reverses it on Shawn. Shawn's on the ropes getting kicked. Lands on his groin. Davey Boy starts shaking the ropes. Knocks Shawn back into the ring. Davey Boy and Flair have both been out there a while. Fatigue's got to start setting in. Flair with punches and kicks on Shawn. Over the ropes again. Shawn saves himself. Next coming out, Al Matador, Tito Santana. Tell you a story about Tito Santana. In 92, I believe it was, later in this year. Might have been 93. WWF was making a decision to expand either to Canada or Mexico. And they had decided if they had expanded to Mexico, Al Matador was going to be the world champion for at least a transitional period of time to get over in Mexico. But they instead decided on Canada, and Bret Hart became a huge star because of it. Shawn tried to eliminate Tito. Tito hanging onto the ropes. Elbow to Shawn. Bulldog and Matador trying to eliminate trying to eliminate Shawn. Flair comes up from behind us and attacks Tito. Shawn's still hanging over the ropes. Flair's coming over. Flair attacks Davey Boy, thus saving Shawn. All 4 men are back in the ring. Low blow on the British Bulldog by Ric Flair. Tito with big punches on Shawn. throws him into the corner, throws him into the corner again. Flair trying to eliminate Davey Boy. Tito saves Davey Boy. Flair with an Irish whip on Tito. He ducks a clothesline. Tito hits a flying forearm. That at the time was Tito's finishing move, as well as he used a figure four. Another competitor coming out in 3, 2, 1. It's the Barbarian. Large man. A lot of power. Good mid-card hand. He's entering the ring. Looking around. He attacks Davey Boy. Big shot by the Barbarian. Tries to eliminate Davey Boy. Davey Boy hanging on. Flair comes over. Begins punching Davey Boy, trying to help get him out of the ring. The two are working together. Davey Boy's tied up into the ropes. I don't know that he's going to get eliminated just yet, but they're trying. They're pulling on him. Big punches. Everybody kind of attacking everybody at the moment. Flair with chops on Santana. Santana lands a big punch on Ric Flair. Now Santana attacking Barbarian. He holds Barbarian for Davey Boy to start attacking. Davey Boy takes over. Tito and Shawn face off. Get into a lockup. Shawn pushes Tito to the ropes. Tito ducks under and lifts Shawn. Flips Shawn over. Shawn goes to the apron and rolls back in. Now Flair trying to get rid of Tito. Tito thumbs Flair in the eye. Got another entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the next entry is the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. Rest in peace. We miss you, Kerry. His death was kind of sad. He died of a suicide on his family's farm. The whole Von Erich family was one tragedy after the other. It was a real shame. They were legends in Texas. Kerry starts on Flair. Oh, he hits that big discus punch. Flair takes 3 steps and just does the Flair flop on his face. Now Kerry's attacking Shawn. At this point in time, Kerry Von Erich only had one leg. He had lost one leg in a motorcycle accident, but trained his body and came back to wrestle. He had a pretty good run in WWE. He was Intercontinental Champion at one time. Beat Mr. Perfect and lost it back to Perfect a few weeks later. Flair's now attacking Kerry. Bulldog trying to eliminate Shawn again. Shawn thumbed him in the eyes for the save. There's 6 guys in the ring. There's only been 2 eliminated so far. Barbarian tries to flip Tito over. Tito begins kicking Barbarian for the save. Now Kerry Von Erich's attacking Barbarian. Tito's working with Flair, and Bulldog and Shawn are in the other corner. Everybody's kind of sectioned off into their own corners. Now Texas Tornado's helping Shawn. Shawn grabbed him in a headlock. He was going to help him eliminate. Repo Man's coming out. I not long ago got a signed picture of the Repo Man through Pro Wrestling Crates. Funny gimmick. I loved him better as Smash and Demolition. He had a bunch of different gimmicks, though. He was a golfer in WCW. He was also Crusher Khrushchev in the NWA. good hand. Absolutely love him. He's doing a virtual signing in Tennessee next week. If you go on Facebook, you can find out more about that. Tito, with a flying crossbody block on Barbarian, took him down. Then he went after Flair again. Repo Man attacking Tito. Davey Boy's holding Sean so Kerry can throw punches at him. Now Tito tied up on the bottom rope. He's getting attacked by Barbarian. And Texas Tornado saves him. Now Flair's holding Texas Tornado so Barbarian can attack him. Sean and Repo Man are working in the other corner on Davey Boy. Flair landing chops on Texas Tornado. Tito's up on the ropes, choking Barbarian. Ric Flair with an eye rake on Kerry Von Erich. Trying to put him over the ropes, but he grabbed it and stopped him. 5 seconds till somebody else comes out. Next out is Greg the Hammer Valentine. Never won a Rumble, but usually has staying power in them. He's very good at them. My favorite Greg Valentine match is the dog collar match at the very first Starrcade against Roddy Piper. He lost that match, but it was a great match. Very well done. The stipulation worked for that match. It was just overall a really good match. It's actually one of my favorite Piper matches, too. I also like the Piper match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania. Hammer and Davey Boy are working on Flair. At one time, Hammer and Flair were tag team champions in the NWA a very long time ago, early in Flair's career. Barbarian has Texas Tornado over the top rope, but Texas Tornado got saved. He rolled onto the bottom rope. Now Bulldog has Sean on the top rope, and Repo Man's trying to help Sean. Never understood why anybody helps anybody in the Royal Rumble. The idea is to get as many people out as possible, so if anything, I'd be helping people get people out. Texas Tornado lands a big right and puts Sean on the ropes. Him and Bulldog are working together to get rid of Sean. Ric Flair with a low blow on Repo Man. Stomp to the head. Sean is hanging by his feet on the ropes with Texas Tornado and British Bulldog trying to eliminate him. He grabbed a hold of the middle rope to save himself. 9 seconds till a new competitor comes out. Barbarian over the top rope by Valentine. Next out, Nikolai Volkov. I met him at a Comic-Con in Pittsburgh one year. Another great guy. Good wrestler. Won the tag belts at the first WrestleMania. Very long career. Great wrestler, and from what I heard, a pretty great guy. Kerry attacking Flair. Hammer comes over to help. Barbarian's in the corner working Nikolai. At this time, Nikolai Volkov was a face. He was a tag partner with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, if you can believe that. It was very late in Volkov's career before he left and then came back in the 90s, later 90s. Flair's took Hammer down over with a snapmare and landed that signature knee drop again. Greg the Hammer going for a figure four on Flair. He's got Flair in a figure four. Flair can't submit to this, but this will weaken his legs. Barbarian comes over and attacks Valentine. Nikolai Volkov gets tossed out. wasn't really shown who did it. Cherry and the Barbarian are fighting in a corner. Flair and Valentine in another corner. Repo Man kind of stalking around in the ring. Bulldog and Tito are in a corner trying to eliminate Sean. Kerry Von Erich's in another corner trying to eliminate Barbarian. Big Boss Man just come out. The big guy from the Department of Corrections in Cobb County, Georgia. He was also Big Bubba Rogers. He was the boss. He was the guardian angel. He had a lot of characters. Most of them didn't really change a whole lot, though. He's being attacked by Barbarian and Sean. Now just Sean. Bulldog went after Barbarian and saved Boss Man. Oh, Boss Man landed a big uppercut on Sean and knocked Sean almost out of the ring. Sean's hanging by the top ropes and he's got his hands on the apron. He is really, really crafty at keeping in the ring. He's back in. Repo Man's eliminated by the Boss Man. Big Boss Man with a big right on Barbarian. Some kicks. Tito and Flair are fighting in the corner. Bulldog just saved Tito again. Bulldog with some forearms on Flair. Texas Tornado fighting Sean. Barbarian and Boss Man going at it. Tito not doing anything at the moment. He's going to come over and help work with Boss Man on Barbarian. Bulldog goes over the ropes by Flair. He had a pretty good performance. Probably over 20 minutes. Kerry Von Erich goes to a backdrop by Flair. 5 men in the ring now. Sean, Tito, Barbarian, Flair, and Boss Man. Flair taking a break in the corner. New superstar fixing to come out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sean and Tito go over the ropes together. They're eliminated. Big Hercules Hernandez coming out. This is when he was part of the Power and Glory tag team. I think they were an underrated tag team, and at least at some point in time, should have been the tag team champions. They have one of my top 5 tag team finishing moves with that Powerplex. I really used to love that. Flair and Barbarian high-fiving, and then Flair chops Barbarian. That was really smart. He could have had somebody work with him for a little while, chose not to. There's only 4 guys in the ring at the moment. Barbarian gets Flair up in a big press slam. Hercules and Boss Man fighting in the other corner. Hercules really taking it to Boss Man. Barbarian has Flair over. Hercules goes to help and eliminates Barbarian. Boss Man clotheslines Hercules from the back and eliminates Hercules. So now all that's in the ring is Boss Man and Flair. Oh, Flair just thumbed Boss Man in the eyes. Boss Man with a big clothesline on Flair takes him down. Basically a one-on-one over the top rope match at this point. Boss Man goes to Flair. Flair ducks. Boss Man hangs over and goes over the top rope. So Ric Flair's the only man in the ring at the moment, giving him a break. Lord knows he needs it. He was number 3. He falls over. Flair kind of shaking his head. Counts down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper had just won Intercontinental title earlier in this show. He's attacking Flair. they were tag team champions, and that was the last WWF title, or as far as I know, the last title either man held. No, Flair did win an Intercontinental title after that. Flair runs under the middle rope. Piper chases him. Big clothesline. Referees trying to get him back in the ring. The referees are Joey Marella and Roddy Piper goes after Flair. Piper's got Flair in the corner. He's up on his shoulders for the 10 punches. Flair countered it with a Manhattan drop. Oh, and Piper poked him in the eyes. Referee Earl Hebner's outside the ring. Piper picks up Flair. Airplane spin. And Piper with the sleeper hold on Flair. Again, a submission's not going to win you the match. But if you knock him out, it's pretty easy to throw somebody over the ropes. He's got that sleeper hold sunk in pretty deeply. I kind of prefer the Cobra Clutch sleeper style to the Roddy Piper sleeper style, but both are very effective. 1. And here comes Jake the Snake. Jake Roberts, one of my absolute favorite wrestlers. Tells Piper, go ahead, have fun. He'll sit in the corner and just watch. Loves the gimmick with Damien and Lucifer and Revelations and his other snakes. He attacks Piper. Jake, the inventor of the DDT, created the hold by accident. Somebody slipped and fell when he had him in a front face lock outside the ring, and he seen what it did and decided he liked the hold and kept it as a regular finishing move. And it's actually a move used by everybody nowadays, but one of the best holds of all time. There goes Jake with the big short clothesline. That's usually the setup for the DDT. He's making the sign for the DDT. About 30 minutes into the match, Flair's still out there from number 3. Jake going for the DDT, and Piper hit a big clothesline on Jake to stop it. Flair with a figure 4 on Jake. Flair grabbing the ropes for leverage. Piper kicking Jake. Piper kicks Flair. Breaks the hold. Starts kicking both of them. Punches on Flair. Jake stops this. Now he's holding Flair's arm, or Piper's arms. Flair lands a big punch. Chop on Jake. Jake and Piper go to fighting. Oh, Piper almost went over the ropes. Jake's got him, trying to eliminate him. Some new opponent in 1, and it is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I think one of the best wrestlers to never win the Intercontinental title that should have. I never thought he was above Intercontinental level, but I really thought he should have won that IC title at one time. I think he deserved it. Native of Glens Falls, New York. His father is a police sheriff. Irish whips Ric Flair into the ropes and hits a big clothesline. Working with Flair, trying to eliminate Flair now, Duggan is. Punches. Now he starts on Jake. There's 4 guys in the ring. Piper, Duggan, Snake, and Flair. Piper and Duggan are fighting. Oh, Piper pokes Flair in the eye again. And now he's biting Flair. Duggan and Jake are in the other corner with punches. Piper really working Flair. Picks him up. Flair picks him up, hits a suplex. Atomic drop on Duggan by Jake. All 4 men are down. Flair's working his way to his feet, and so is Piper. They begin chopping each other. Piper getting the best of it. Duggan comes over and lands a right on Flair. Jake slaps Piper. New opponent in 3, 2, 1. IRS. Mr. Mike Rotundo, Mr. Michael Wall Street. He was Captain Mike Rotundo at one time. He's also the father of Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas. Related to the Wyndham family as well. He's going to come in and attack Flair. Duggan pulled back that fist and he walked off from Duggan. Oh, Duggan's got IRS by the tie and landing punches. I always wondered why more guys didn't choke him with the tie, but I heard it was possibly a clip-on. Flair and Jake trying to eliminate Roddy Piper. Duggan comes over and smacks Jake and Flair's head together. Now he goes after IRS. He's trying to eliminate Piper. He wraps the tie around his throat, but let him go because Jake thumbed him in the eye. Piper and Flair are down. IRS attacking Piper. IRS was also a WWF Tag Team Champion with Barry Windham at WrestleMania 1. They were the USA Express. He just got Hall of Fame, I believe, either this year or last year. Totally deserving of it. I think his solo career could have gotten him a spot in the Hall of Fame. Never a world champion, but a great wrestler. Flair over the ropes. IRS stops Piper from eliminating him. Somebody coming out now. It's Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Very controversial character. Ended up with Alzheimer's. He was on trial for murder and was at the point, it was so late in his life that it was deemed that he was unfit for trial due to his advanced Alzheimer's. But an absolute legend. Snuka was one of the names that when Vince McMahon bought Capital Wrestling from his father, he considered placing him as the top guy. It ended up being Hulk Hogan, but Snuka was discussed. Other names that were discussed were Sergeant Slaughter and Dusty Rhodes. It ended up Vince went with Hogan and Hulkamania went wild all through the 80s and 90s. Flair just thumbs Snuka in the eyes. Jake almost eliminated by Piper, but made a save. Piper now attacking Flair with chops in the corner. Chop after chop by Piper. Oh, and now he's fish hooking Flair by the nose. And tries to eliminate Flair, and Flair saves himself again. Now Jake's attacking Flair. Jake's got Flair over the ropes. He's trying to rock him over. New competitor in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it's Paul Bearer with The Undertaker. Undertaker and Hogan got preferential treatment on number draws in the Royal Rumble for this, and Undertaker still drew a terrible number. If you remember, Undertaker beat Hogan, and then at this Tuesday in Texas, Hogan beat Undertaker, and there was a lot of interference in the two matches, and they had decided that due to all the interference, they were going to hold up the title, and the winner would be granted a spot in the Royal Rumble. Undertaker just eliminated Snuka. Jimmy Snuka was the first opponent in Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Undertaker now choking out Flair. Undertaker is a great character. I have one of his figures that's on my wall of fame. He's absolutely amazing. I don't think enough good things can be said about Undertaker. He was the locker room leader, great in the ring, great performer. He's now a coach on LFG. He actually won the first season of LFG as a coach. He's now attacking Duggan. Undertaker now stalking IRS and attacks him. Piper just thumbs Jake the Snake in the eyes and tries to eliminate him. Undertaker choking IRS on the ropes. Flair chopping Undertaker. Undertaker completely no-selling. Duggan comes in to join. Undertaker also no-sells that. Begins a double choke on Flair and Duggan. Next man out's Macho Man. Macho Man run into the ring at 100 miles an hour. Going to go after Jake, I would almost guarantee it. IRS stops him. Undertaker choking. Jake slides back in the ring under the bottom rope, not eliminated. Now he'll attack Macho Man. If you remember at Macho Man's wedding at SummerSlam, Jake the Snake gave Elizabeth a cobra as a present. When it popped out of the box, Undertaker and Jake attacked Macho Man and kind of ruined the reception. Savage now working Jake. We're at about the 40-minute mark in the match. Oh, Flair with a knee on Jake. He eliminates Jake. Macho Man eliminates Jake. Macho Man jumps over the top rope and starts choking Jake. Undertaker steps through the middle of the ring, grabs Macho Man. I guess according to the rules this year, you can't eliminate yourself. That rule varies from year to year. Undertaker still attacking Savage. Throws Savage back in the ring and they allow it. Undertaker crawls back into the ring. Savage tries to escape from under the bottom rope and attacks Jake. That was an absolute blood feud, those two. Jake attacked Savage with a cobra at one point in time in the feud, and Savage got bit real bad. Undertaker throws Savage back in the ring. Duggan and IRS are fighting in one corner. Flair and Piper in another. Duggan with big fists. Undertaker attacking Savage. Duggan comes to help Savage. Duggan with rights and lefts on Undertaker. Another big right, another big left. Tries to slam Undertaker. That's not going to happen. Undertaker with a big forearm on Duggan. Now Undertaker stalking and choking Duggan. Ric Flair attacking Roddy Piper. Oh, Flair hits Undertaker low. Undertaker sells it just a little bit, not much. Doesn't drop Undertaker. 2 seconds till another entry. And it's the Berserker, John Nord. Good wrestler. Solid middle card guy. Coming out with Mr. Fuji. He enters the ring and immediately goes after Undertaker. They had a feud at one time where Berserker almost shish-kebabbed Undertaker with a sword. Undertaker won that feud, of course. Many bigger things planned for Undertaker than there ever were for the Berserker. Now Berserker's attacking Duggan. Duggan with an atomic drop on Berserker. Big atomic drop. Clothesline. Berserker's almost tied up in the ropes. He got loose. Duggan walked away from him. He went after Duggan again. Flair goes through the middle ropes holding Savage, and IRS is attacking Savage. Undertaker choking out Piper in the corner. Flair on the outside attempts to suplex Savage out of the ring over the top rope. Savage trying to counter it. He does, and suplexes Flair back into the ring. Undertaker with a big choke on Ric Flair. Piper choking Flair. Double choke on Flair. On the other side of the ring, IRS and Berserker are trying to eliminate Jim Duggan. Undertaker now choking Piper and Flair. Berserker with a choke on Savage. Hit a choke bomb on Savage, actually. Virgil coming out next. Virgil was out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I met him 2 or 3 times at different conventions. One time he was at a payphone, and I'd offered him to use my cell phone, and he was nice enough to tell me no, he wouldn't need it. Virgil being attacked by IRS and Undertaker. Flair has Piper over the ropes again, trying to eliminate him. Berserker has Piper up in a slam, and Piper countered it with punches. Savage holding Berserker from behind. Piper landing punches on Berserker. Flair with double fingers in the eyes. Chops on Undertaker. Ooh, Undertaker with a big choke on Flair. Carries him into the corner by his throat. Choking him out. We're at about the 46-minute mark in this match. Flair was number 3, still out there. Absolutely amazing performance. Duggan and Berserker fighting near the ropes. Savage with IRS in the corner. Piper and Virgil are fighting in the middle of the ring. Later on, Piper and Virgil were allies against the $1 Million Man. Berserker attacks Piper. You got Undertaker and Duggan. Duggan's got Undertaker on the ropes. He's trying to eliminate him. Ric Flair's going back to Roddy Piper. We have Colonel Mustafa coming out, who was also known as the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik, a former World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion and tag team champion. Remember, this Rumble is for the WWE title. It's an amazing match. Lots of Hall of Famers. Sheik, another Hall of Famer. He played Colonel Mustafa during the Iraqi War, though, with General Adnan and Sergeant Slaughter. Savage runs the length of the ring and hits a double axe handle on Undertaker. rakes Undertaker in the face and drags him to the ropes. Flair trying to eliminate Piper. He's got Piper over the ropes. Duggan stops Flair from eliminating Piper. Throwing big right hands. Virgil's in the corner attacking Mustafa. Colonel Mustafa with a big eye rake on Virgil and switch. They're working each other in the corner. Piper doing the 10 punches on Flair. Undertaker stalking Piper. Piper doesn't see this. Oh, Piper with a big, Undertaker with a big chop on Piper. Savage with double axe handles on Piper and Undertaker. Savage going for the elimination on Flair again. The Berserker stops him. Rick Martel comes out. Rick Martel, another great Royal Rumble wrestler. He was a former tag team champion. He was also an AWA world champion at one time. Good mid-card wrestler. I think he so far has been... I know he's not in the Hall of Fame, and I believe he really deserves it. Flair with a big chop on Martel. Martel puts Flair into the corner. This is during Martel's model character. So I really didn't like Martel. I thought he was annoying. Although I did kind of find him funny. Martel with Flair up into the corner, trying to eliminate Flair. IRS trying to help Piper, or trying to help Martel. Undertaker working Savage over with a choke on the mat. On the mat, someplace you don't want to be when there's that many guys in the ring. Flair goes over the top rope and saves himself again, but Martel's choking him. Flair's got his legs wrapped around the ropes, so he's going to be safe. His feet aren't going to hit the floor. Berserker with a big chop on Piper. Big forearms. Piper blocks it. Chops on the Berserker. Piper and Berserker are rolling around the ring. Another competitor in 3, 2, 1. It is Hulk Hogan. Hulkster coming to the ring. Again, Hulkster's another guy I could spend the next hour talking about. Hogan was the 80s in the WWE. He's quite controversial now, but one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Great on the mic, great in the ring. Goes in attacking everybody. Berserker holds Hogan for Undertaker to land chops on. Like I said, Hogan and Undertaker are the reason the title's up in this match. Martel's out by Virgil. IRS, Berserker, and Undertaker are attacking Hogan. Hogan got out of it, took everybody out. Now Hogan's after Undertaker again. Big clothesline on Undertaker, and Undertaker's out. That was kind of an early elimination for Taker. I suspected he'd been out there much longer. And Hogan eliminates Berserker with a backdrop. Now Hogan ripping off his shirt. Signature maneuver of Hogan's. And he's using the shirt to choke Martel, who I guess only went out through the middle rope. A Beal with it. Virgil gets slammed by Duggan over the top rope, and Duggan followed him over, so they're both eliminated. IRS is choking Piper with Hogan's shirt. Hogan's attacking Flair. The match that never happened in WWE, Hogan and Flair, it happened on house show loops, but everybody knows if it doesn't happen on TV, it didn't happen. Skinner's coming out. That's former Steve Keirn. He was a tag team champion in a lot of different companies. He never reached any kind of height in WWE. He was a good mid-card hand. Had some Intercontinental title shots against Bret Hart, but never won the belt. Hogan attempting to eliminate Flair. IRS stops it. Piper and Skinner fighting. Martel and Flair. Martel has Flair about eliminated. I'm sorry, that's Macho Man. That Martel's about to eliminate. Flair is walking around the ring by himself. Now Flair attacks Hogan. Piper attacks Flair. Skinner raking Hogan's eyes. Skinner was the founder and runner of Florida Championship Wrestling when it was a WWF territory. They used it. It was NXT before NXT. Martel and Flair are attempting to eliminate Piper. Piper put Martel in a head scissor. That allowed Piper to step away, and it saved him. He's back in the ring. Flair in the ring in excess of 54 minutes at this point. Hogan with a big clothesline on Flair and Skinner. Piper attempting to eliminate Martel. Skinner stopped it. Sergeant Slaughter coming to the ring now. Sarge, Mr. G.I. Joe himself. I have the G.I. Joe version of the pop. I'm looking for the WWE version of the pop. If any of you fans out there know where I can get it, that'd be great. Martel eliminates Skinner. Slaughter now attacking Flair. Sergeant Slaughter was my favorite G.I. Joe. I got the Slaughter with the Triple T tank for Christmas, and that was one of my favorite Christmas gifts of all time. Slaughter to eliminate Flair. He's trying to. He's got him over the ropes, but Flair's tied up in the ropes pretty good, so I don't think Flair's going to go just yet. Hogan and Piper are working together to eliminate Martel. No elimination yet. Savage is working with IRS. Savage just picks up Hogan's shirt and chokes IRS with it again. Slaughter attacks Piper to keep him off Martel. Hogan's still trying to eliminate Martel, but Martel's pretty well tied up into the ropes. Slaughter stops Hogan. Slaughter attacking Hogan. IRS over the ropes, but back in the bottom rope. Flair's got Savage over the ropes, but Savage is back in. No eliminations. There are 3, 4, 5, 7 men in the ring right now. An eighth's fixing to come in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it is Sid Justice. Big Sid had one of the most gruesome injuries in the history of wrestling. He was facing Scott Steiner at either the Greed or Sin pay-per-view. I don't remember which, but it was one of the last pay-per-views of WCW. And his toes were touching his kneecap from the leg break. It was a double tibia-fibia compound fracture. One of the most gruesome things I've ever seen in wrestling. Sid also was champion in both WWE and WCW, which is something not a lot of men can say. Big Sid was a great hand, a Good upper card guy. Always a threat. Someone you wouldn't want to face in a dark alley. He's going around facing Piper. IRS is holding Hogan for Flair to give chops to. Piper and Martel are working to eliminate Sid. Sid stopped them both. Big Sid's got to be 6'8", 6'9". He's a huge man. Sid's got Flair looking around for approval. Choking Flair out. Now he's trying to eliminate Flair. Sid once also had a big match against Hogan at WrestleMania. Sid attacking Flair, Hogan attacking Martel. IRS has Savage over the ropes, but Savage is pretty well tied in, so I don't see Savage being eliminated just yet. Another competitor in one. Nobody's coming out. Okay. Here comes Dr. Harvey Whippleman with Warlord. Warlord's a huge man. Part of the Powers of Pain tag team with the Barbarian. Good upper middle card hand. Had a great feud with the British Bulldog at one time. Flair outside of the ring, but went out through the bottom rope, attacking Hogan. Warlord immediately goes after Piper. Hogan going for a suplex outside the ring and hits it. Both men are still legal in the match because neither went over the top rope. Oh, Sid with a big whip into the ropes from Sergeant Slaughter that eliminated Slaughter. Slaughter went over the top rope and out. Now Sid after IRS. Hogan throws Flair back into the ring under the bottom rope and enters it back in. Hogan with the big whip and big boot. Flair closing in on an hour in the ring already. It's absolutely amazing. The numbers game is over. It's going to be one of these guys that are in the ring that win. Piper goes over the ropes by IRS, but saves himself. He's got IRS by the tie, shaking the ropes, trying to get him over. Sid chokes out Flair. Somebody's eliminated. I can't see who it is. IRS was eliminated. Hogan and Sid working on the Warlord. And they eliminate him. So Sid, Hogan, Flair, Piper, Martel, and Savage are the last in the ring. The 6 men have kind of paired off. Sid eliminates Piper and Martel in one fell swoop. They were fighting at the ropes, and Sid just kind of come over and grabbed both and eliminated them. We're down to the final 4. It's Flair, Hogan, Justice, and Savage. Sid Justice with Savage about gone. Oh, Flair knees Justice and he drops Savage over the top rope. Savage is eliminated. It's down to Flair, Justice, and Hogan. Hogan no selling for Flair. Hogan chopping Flair. Sid just kind of standing around. Flair goes into the corner. Hogan punches Flair. Flair goes over the ropes. Sid eliminates Hogan from behind. Hogan is absolutely incensed. He had won the 2 Royal Rumbles leading into this. Savage or Justice telling him, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do. Flair's still on the ground behind Justice. Hogan grabs Sid's arm, trying to pull him out of the ring. There's no rules in this match, so that's perfectly legal. Flair grabs Justice, and so does Hogan, and they eliminate Justice. Flair wins the World Championship. After an hour and 3 minutes in the ring, Flair wins it. This is Flair's first World Championship, and that's the watch-along, folks. Like, share, and subscribe to the video. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of it and what match you'd like for the next watch-along. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye.